The impossible discovery. The deep space monitoring station orbiting Vixar Prime hummed with its usual rhythmic efficiency. For 300 years, the Vexarian Empire had maintained perfect surveillance of their sector, tracking every vessel, every anomaly, every whisper of movement through the void. Commander Kurith had served at this station for 20 cycles, and nothing ever surprised him anymore. Until today, the primary sensor array erupted with alerts that made no sense. Kareth's 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the data streaming across his crystalline display. His second-in-command, Science Officer Rillith, approached with visible concern, her silver skin shimmering under the station's blue lighting. "Commander, we have a situation," Rillith said, her voice carrying the controlled precision typical of her species. "An unidentified vessel has entered our monitored space at coordinates 7-4-9-Alpha. The energy signature is completely unknown to our databases." Kareth pulled up the readings and felt his breathing slits tighten. The vessel was moving at speeds that suggested faster-than-light capability, but the energy pattern was all wrong. It looked unstable, chaotic, as if the ship's reactor was moments away from catastrophic failure. Yet the vessel continued moving steadily toward Vexarian space. "Run a full diagnostic on our sensors," Kareth ordered. This could be a malfunction. Rillith worked her console with practiced efficiency. "Sensors are operating at optimal levels, Commander. The readings are accurate. Whatever that vessel is, it defies our understanding of propulsion physics. The reactor signature indicates it should have exploded approximately 30 minutes ago." Kareth felt a chill run through his core. In all his years of service, he had never encountered anything that violated the fundamental laws of engineering that the Vexarian Empire had perfected over millennia. Their civilization had explored the galaxy for 5,000 years. They knew every species, every technology, every possible configuration of starship design. This was something new, something impossible. "Bring it up on visual," Kareth commanded. The main viewing screen flickered to life, and the bridge crew fell into stunned silence. The vessel looked like it had been assembled from spare parts, salvaged from a dozen different ships. Its hull was a patchwork of mismatched metals, some sections gleaming silver, while others showed the dark carbon scoring of atmospheric re-entry burns. Welding marks crisscrossed the exterior like scars. One entire section appeared to be held together with external reinforcement beams that had clearly not been part of the original design. "By the ancient architects," whispered Rillith. "Commander, that vessel should not be space-worthy. The structural integrity readings are marginal at best. Several hull sections are showing stress fractures, and those external support beams suggest emergency repairs that were never properly completed." Kareth's mind raced through possibilities. Pirates sometimes flew damaged vessels, but they never ventured into Vexarian space. Raiders from the outer territories had crewed ships, but nothing that looked quite this improvised. This vessel was something entirely different. "Attempt communication," Kareth ordered. "Standard first contact protocols. And raise our defensive shields. If that reactor does explode, I want us protected." The communications officer, a young Vexarian named Tolith, worked his console nervously. "Channel open, Commander. Transmitting on all standard frequencies." For a long moment, there was only static. Then the screen changed, and Kareth found himself looking at a being he had never seen before. The creature was bipedal, with pale skin, partially covered by a dark blue fabric. Its head had a patch of brown fur on top, and it had only 2 eyes positioned in the front of its face. When it opened its mouth to speak, Kareth could see blunt teeth arranged in neat rows. "Hello there," the creature said, its voice translated into Vexarian through their universal communication system. "This is Captain Marcus Webb of the human exploration vessel Defiant Hope. We mean no harm and apologize if we've entered restricted space. We're still getting used to our navigation systems. This is actually our first trip beyond our local cluster. Kareth blinked all 4 eyes in sequence, a gesture of extreme confusion among his people. Captain Webb, I am Commander Kareth of the Vexarian Empire. You say this is your first journey beyond your local cluster, yet you possess faster-than-light travel? The human's face changed in a way the translation database labeled as a smile, though showing teeth seemed aggressive to Kareth's sensibilities. Yes, Commander. We achieved FTL capability about 8 months ago. We've been testing it locally, but this is our first real expedition. We're an exploratory vessel looking for new worlds, new resources, and hopefully new friends. Behind Captain Webb, Kareth could see other humans moving through what appeared to be the ship's bridge. One of them was using a handheld tool that produced small flames, apparently welding something while the ship was in active flight. Another was hitting a console with a closed fist, which seemed to make whatever was malfunctioning start working again. A third human was consulting a handheld device while simultaneously drinking from a container, seemingly unconcerned about the sparks flying from an overhead panel. Captain Webb, Kareth said carefully, are you currently experiencing technical difficulties? I notice your crew appears to be conducting repairs. Webb glanced over his shoulder. Oh, that's just Chun fixing the power coupling. It tends to overheat after long jumps. Nothing serious. We should have it sorted in 10 minutes or so. Happens pretty regularly, actually. Rilith made a sound that the translator couldn't process, somewhere between horror and disbelief. She switched to a private channel with Kareth. Commander, their power coupling is failing regularly, and they consider this normal operation? And they're repairing critical systems with open flames while traveling through space? This is madness. Kareth shared his science officer's concern, but he maintained his diplomatic composure. Captain Webb, the Vexarian Empire would like to extend an invitation to you and your crew. We have a research facility nearby where we could offer you hospitality and perhaps assistance with your vessel's maintenance. Our engineers are highly skilled and could ensure your ship operates more safely. Webb's smile broadened. That's incredibly generous, Commander. We'd love to visit and learn more about your civilization. Our chief engineer, David Chun, would probably be thrilled to see your technology. Fair warning, though, he asks a lot of questions. As Kareth arranged for the human vessel to be escorted to Research Station Gamma 7, he opened a priority channel to Vexarian High Command. His message was brief but urgent. Contact with unknown species, calling themselves humans. They possess FTL technology achieved in impossibly short time frame. Their methods appear dangerous and unstable. Recommend immediate investigation to determine threat level. Requesting authorization to detain vessel under diplomatic pretense. The response came within an hour, marked with the highest classification level. Authorization granted. Assess capabilities thoroughly. Determine if humans represent threat to Empire. Use all necessary means, but maintain peaceful appearance. Report findings directly to High Council. Research Station Gamma 7 was the Empire's premier facility for studying alien technologies. When the Defiant Hope docked at the station's external berth, teams of Vexarian scientists gathered with their scanning equipment, ready to examine every detail of the human vessel. Captain Webb and his crew of 45 humans disembarked with obvious excitement. They were fascinated by everything, asking questions about Vexarian architecture, biology, culture, and technology. Their enthusiasm seemed genuine and childlike, as if they had never expected to meet other intelligent life. Asterisk Chief Engineer David Chun was exactly as Webb had described. The human male couldn't stop asking questions, and when the Vexarian scientists offered to show him their examination of the Defiant Hope, he agreed instantly. Please tell me everything you find, Chun said eagerly. We built most of this ship by trial and error. Professional feedback would be amazing. Lead scientist Vexith had never encountered such openness. Most species were protective of their technology, especially military or propulsion systems. Yet the humans seemed happy to let Vexarian scientists crawl through every system of their ship, explaining their design choices and admitting their mistakes freely. What Vexith's team discovered over the next 3 days challenged everything they knew about engineering. Asterisk, the human fusion reactor, was running at power levels that should have caused immediate meltdown. The containment field was reinforced with magnetic arrays that had clearly been added as an afterthought, bolted to the outside of the original housing. The cooling system used liquid nitrogen pumped through pipes that were obviously not designed for that purpose. Several connections were sealed with a metallic compound that analysis revealed to be a common industrial adhesive. Asterisk.